The majority of this bus, the build has been fueled by Tim Hortons coffee and Timbits. I bought a 50 pack. I think I'm going to need extra fuel today. Fans going, it's hot in here. Back in the bus today, another weekend. We are going to work on the composting toilet. First I need to build the wall in here, separate from the shower area, then I'm going to build the box in for the composting toilet. And then I think I'm going to put some light switches in. That might be a good idea. Off we go. For my non-Canadian friends, these are Timbits from Tim Hortons. Yes, I know, they're donut holes. That's got the wall cut. As you saw, it took me several times, but I did make a pattern when I was working on the cabinet walls and the wall up here. So I used that same pattern, piece of cardboard that I got the basic shape, and just had to trim it where I needed it. And yeah, that's looking good. Yep, definitely a project. I'm bleeding all over it. But how the heck did I rip my toe open? Who knows? If I keep showing you all my injuries, you're gonna think I'm a klutz or just not too bright. It's probably both. Okay, I'm about to start building the box. Well, maybe I should put a piece in here. I don't have enough of one piece to go up the whole thing, but I think I can fill in here halfway up. I think I can do that. I should probably do that right now first before I start getting crazy, carried away under here. But when I do, I measured our toilet downstairs. It's 17 inches high to the top of the bowl, not the seat. So I want that because we'll put a seat on top of it. And it's 19 inches deep from the front of the seat to where the bolts are for the seat. So obviously we don't have a tank with this, being composting, and it's not a chemical toilet or whatnot. So I can go 19 from the wall, and that should be okay. I'm gonna go grab the toilet pieces and set them in here and make sure that's gonna work out. 19 comes just behind this seam right here, all the way across. So that should work out all right. Well, there's the diverter, the liquid tank, and the solid tank behind it, approximately where I want it to sit. Plenty of room. Of course, I've got the lid on the solids thing so that it sits flat, otherwise it fell over. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I want it kind of centered with the window. I might move it slightly over this way. Maybe build a cabinet on this side and a little cabinet, like a little storage space. This side I'm thinking we're probably going to put the all the peat moss in there. Make a nice big one, and I'll line it with some plastic and caulking and whatnot. And I think that's what we're going to do. And this side will make it so we can put some toilet paper and stuff in there. Yep, I think that's going to work out nicely. I got on a bit of a roll. Didn't record any of this, but there's the basic box. And the lid will go on top. And I'm still not quite sure I'm going to do this I think I'm going to cut the lid to fit, and then I'm going to split it where I need to so that I can open up the individual areas separately. I think that's what I'm going to do, because that'll help me just to organize and decide what sizes to do. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that right now. There we go. Put the top on it. And now I'm just going to set everything into place. And I might go get Christina to get her thoughts on this as well. And there we have 3 compartments. One over here for toilet paper and such. I've put stoppers on the ends so that the board won't just slide off. You have to lift it straight up. And here's the main toilet area where the solids and liquids containers go. And over on this side is going to be peat moss. So with the lids, this one and the far one, I'll be drilling a couple holes in them just for your fingers. This one here, not quite sure yet because the diverter will go in there, so you might be able to just pick it up with the diverter. I don't know yet. I'll figure that one out. That's not supposed to happen. And it's stuck straight in. Okay. You can see this good enough. I have here the template for putting the seat on, for putting the toilet pieces in. So I cut out the center. Can you see? Yeah, okay, you can see that pretty good. And this was grayed out to cut it out. And I'm just going to tape it down strategically in a couple of spots, pulling it snug as I do so. I've lined it up straight with the front. Before I cut anything, I'm going to set the diverter on and see where it's going to come to. I may need to adjust it, but so if I set the diverter and I look to where I think it's going to go, my main concern is that the tanks fit in there, right? So the solid tank will go about there, and the liquid jug, if I can find it. So the urine jug will go about there. Yeah, that'll work. I'm going to put a piece on here. You can't even see what I'm looking at. Here. There. Wider angle. So the solids goes here. The urine jug will go here. I'm going to put a little bit of a rubber piece on there so that it feeds more directly in there so we don't get any splashback, because we don't want that. So I think that's going to work just fine. Where did I put my pencil? There it is. So I'm just going to trace out the cutout. And there we go. That is what I need to cut out. So, the tools out of the way. I've got my jigsaw. It's not a good one, but it'll work. So I think I'm going to just blast a hole in with this spade bit that I had already. Just so I got somewhere to start. I'll keep it away from the edge. Just this is the bit that I had, so that's what I'm using. Yeah, that should be fine. Alright. Let's cut it out. Moment of truth. Boom. Drops right in. I'm probably going to just put a bead of caulking around there just as an adhesive. Hold it on tight. But I think what I want to do right now is vacuum that up a bit. So we'll come back after that. Perfect. Let me show you what we're looking at here. Okay, we've got the urine container there, the solids container in the back, complete with a dead spider in it. And we just place the diverter right there. Now, of course, the solids will have a bag in it with peat moss, and then you take peat moss out of here and dump it down the hole. And that's going to drop straight in to the urine collector with a little hose added on the end there just for peace of mind. And then when you need to empty them, well, you just take this lid off, screw the lid on there, put the lid on, or take the bag out, tie it up, pick that up, off you go. Go dump it in the toilet at the gas station or into an outhouse, wherever you need to put it. That's fantastic. Couldn't be happier with that. So, time being, it's just gonna sit there for now. I'll get some caulking on there later. Gotta measure that and try and find a little piece of hose for there. But other than that, other than buying some peat moss, that's ready to go. This is the peat moss bin. I'm gonna mark that, pop a couple holes in that. There we go. Oh, I should clean out in there too. Done. There we go. And that is simply to hold it in place. Nice. Now I've got a couple things I can do. Okay, so with the bin here for the peat moss, I think for the time being, until I can get some suitable material to line this with, I think I'm just going to use a plastic bin or maybe a bag. I don't know, but I'm not going to just dump it all in there because I'm worried that it'll cause some damage. As you can see at the bottom, we've got some water damage, and I know exactly where the leak is coming from. Not only do we have water damage there, there's a little bit under here and a little bit under here, and we've had some horrendous rain in the last month on and off here, so I know it's nice to have it happen now. When we did this last year, I ran where all the new metal here meets the rub rail. I ran drip check in here, and in quite a few spaces the drip check I should have done 2 or 3 coats because it has pulled away. I don't know if you can see it. It's pulled away and there's a gap, and the water's just going right in and behind the new tin. And then we've got a few areas like the corners here where, I'll be honest, I missed it. Same with here. This needs to be done under here. And all in along, all the windows needs to be done. Probably not gonna happen today, but it's definitely gonna happen this week. Today I want to do something different.
Okay, so we got our foam in for our couch. We have 4-inch high density foam. We ordered it off of Amazon. We will put the link in the description so that you guys can find it. I really like this foam. It's a good quality foam. So I marked it out. It was 66 inches long for the bench seats, but they're a little bit long. We've come down a little bit, so we did 65 and a half in length. And then, which is this line. And then we have to do, it's only 24 3/4 inch in depth. So I had to order a 30-inch mattress. But we did 24 and a half is where I marked it at. And then we have found the best way to do it is to get a electric knife. So yeah, I get to play with power tools again. So if you've ever tried to cut foam, I cannot tell you how much easier it is with this. We have tried with a regular serrated blade, we tried with scissors, we tried with a X-Acto knife, and I seriously just invest in one.
$40.
I think using it like a jigsaw works the best. Okay, so as you'll notice, this foam is not as wide. That's because our back is only 16 3/4 in length. That's exact. I'm not going to take any off because when you pull out our bed, it's 17. It's okay if it sticks up above the top a little bit. We're fine with that. It just gives us extra cushion for our heads. So I'm going to show you basically how I'm measuring. It's really the simplest part of this whole thing. Let me put you down right here. So basically you just take your tape measure. Now the main thing that you have to be careful of with this is that your tape measure isn't tight on the end. So I like to pull out the tape measure to, you know, like 68, 69, whatever, somewhere in there. And then I put it on the very, very end here. Very end, so that I have a straight line to measure by. So I need to do 65 and a half. Let's make sure this is straight and not pulling. You want to be careful because it pulls really, really easy. So we do 65.5, and we're just going to mark it with a felt marker as soon as I can get it to line up correctly. Oops. Having a hard time with this one. Dead center as close as we can, and try to make sure that it's again straight but not, because you can accidentally pull it. I don't know if you can see the end like that, and then that changes your measurement, so you want to be really careful not to pull it. And you do the far end. On the very end, 65.5. Okay. Now that I have that marked, okay. Now that I have that marked here, here, and here, I grabbed a level. It doesn't really matter what it is as long as it's straight and an edge. And you just kind of line them up. And see, like when I line these two up, this one's way off. Don't know why, but I'm going to go with where two of them line up. So, we just draw a line. And that's where we're going to cut, is there. See, this one's off by about 1/4 of an inch. So my guess is I was squishing the end a little bit or squishing down the foam a little bit. So you do really want to be careful because it can throw your measurements way off with just a tiny bit. But the two end ones lined up, and that's what I needed. Now our height for the foam is only going to be 16 3/4. So this one is a 24-inch foam across. The other one was 30 because I had to go over 24. If I had known it was going to be 1/2 inch, no, I still would have bought the 30 because the 1/2 inch fits perfectly. But so now I'm just going to measure it down probably just measure it to here, all the way down, and cut this across first. But that's what I'm going to do, is measure it to be 16.5 inches. No, 16 3/4 inches. And see how I accidentally did this and pulled it? That's going to throw your measurements way off if you accidentally do that. So be really careful about doing that.
Who pinned that for you? Sure did a good job, didn't you?
No, that was not 1/2 inch. Or more than 1/2 inch down. Right at about 1/2 inch. But I appreciate the help.
So what are you doing?
Making a seam to hold these two together. We have Selma!
Christina busted her hump all day. No, it didn't take her that long. It took a while. But it was worth it. I mean, look at that. That's awesome. It's so comfortable.
And this is just quilting that we got at
Village? Or no,
that we got at a resale store.
yeah. At a thrift store.
So it didn't actually, so it goes all the way around on this one, and for now I just have it put together with safety pins, but I'll put buttons in here. I want to make it where it's removable. But on this one, it didn't go all the way around, so we used part of an old curtain and put it in there.
Until we can do the same thing with buttons.
And we'll again do the same thing with buttons. I'll put more buttons and I have safety pins in because it needs to be in there. But yeah, so
That will do the trick.
but I do want to make sure that it remains removable.
Yes.
And then now all Chris has to do,
Build the legs.
well, we have to build the legs. You have to put in seatbelts.
Yes, they are on order. We should have them tomorrow or Tuesday.
So
Couldn't find any locally. Everybody's out of lap belts for some weird reason. So.
nothing comes with this laptop anymore.
Perfect. Done.